Hey guys, it's Mike with Porzak Golf, taking your game to the next level and beyond. Today we're going to step inside a lesson with one of our favorite young players, Isabella Fernandez. This girl just bombs it. We were getting ready for a tournament. We're going to take you through some of her pre-shot routine and her ball striking, do a little short game and some putting. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's do it, Bella. You had a tournament this weekend, right? Yeah, and how did it go? You won first? Oh, that is good. Very nice. Okay, and how did you feel about your game? You're making a lot of putts. Very good. Oftentimes we got to make a lot of putts when we're going to win, right? For sure. What about the rest of the game? Where do you think you could have been doing a little bit better?
Maybe my fairway and hybrids.
Your fairway and hybrids. Okay, awesome. So we'll look at those and see those. Those are oftentimes the hardest clubs to hit, right? Just because the least amount of loft, but that's good. We're going to work on that. Big thing for you, right? You are a really, really talented player, as we're going to see in a minute, and you hit some great shots. How were you feeling out there, right? How was your kind of self-talk and your confidence levels out there? Were you being positive? Yeah. Okay, and that's the big thing I want to make sure happens today, right? Is we're going into a weekend where you're going to go to Vegas this weekend. Going to play a Future Champions event, right? And I think the one thing for you that I always think of is making sure you don't get too upset with those bad shots, right? So as long as we can forget that last shot and get ready to get this 9-iron out, boom, and we're going to get rocking here. Let's do it, okay? We're definitely going to do, going into a tournament, okay, the most important things to be working on are our short game and our putting, okay? So we're going to do 20, 20, and 20 today. We're going to do 20 minutes up here on the full swing. We're going to go down to the short game and do a little bit, and then we'll putt too, okay? But the putting and the short game is really what holds our rounds together when we play, right? I mean, like you said, you were making putts, you're winning. You know, you could be making putts just to stay in contention. So we're going to get through this swing here. We're going to talk about a couple key fundamentals for you, especially your little check. We have a check kind of pre-shot routine, right, that we're going to see today. So let's do it. Give me a couple of good practice swings. Great tip here. Anytime you get a little nervous on that first tee, right, anytime you're kind of a little scared of a shot, you can take really firm practice swings, really hard practice swings, right? They'll get a lot of that nervous energy out. So give me a couple big rips here, right? Make that nice controlled backswing and boom, go. Yeah, and let all that energy out, okay? This girl has got a great swing, and I love the length of these backswings today. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Geez, well, that's a 9-iron? How far do you hit that 9-iron? 110. Very nice. Yeah, that was hit right about 110, I think. Man, this is fantastic. I just love this lesson because here's the thing. We've been working for the last couple weeks, right, on developing a more connected backswing for you. Okay, so for Bella, what was happening when she was getting off is that backswing would get really long, right? The arms would get long, the club would get long, and then we'd move through that golf ball and the club wouldn't be with us, right? And we could hit all sorts of different shots. So we worked hard on really making sure we keep those arms a little bit shorter in our backswing, right? And you and Dad were really the ones that developed this great little check and pre-shot routine you do, right? Where you're over that golf ball and you go to the spot you know you need to, you look at it, you become aware of it, you feel it, and then you just return there, and from there, you get to go as hard as you want, you know, and we get really good shots. So I think that's fantastic. Let's keep doing it. That's really one of the biggest things that we work on with you and you know to get your ball striking to be the best it is just making sure we don't overswing, and I haven't seen it once today, so it's fantastic. Beautiful. I mean, 3 of the exact same shots in a row. Let's get something else out. What do we got here? 7. Lovely. Tell me this, are we doing that routine in the tournament? Yeah. I love it. I love it. Nice. Fantastic. So here's the thing. Let's talk about that shot right there. Really, really well struck, right? How do you rate it, 1 to 10? An 8. I think so too. Was it right at your target?
No.
A little bit right of it, right? And that's the point I want to make right now. So let's talk about that. Today, we've got a really hot and windy day, don't we? Okay, we're in San Diego here, and that means on those days that we have Santa Anas that the wind is coming from a different direction, right? It's coming from the east now, and it brings really hot wind. So on our range, normally we have a right to left wind, okay? That's a great wind to practice in. It allows us to kind of keep that golf ball right in front of us. Now, the thing is, when this wind gets left to right, and this is a great lesson for junior golfers when they go to tournaments, okay, is if you show up at the range and there's a steady, hard left to right wind, you have to be careful with how many golf balls you hit that week, okay? Because what happens with players is when this wind is like this and they hit a perfect shot, right? Just like you did, boom, 8 out of 10 right there. But all of a sudden now this golf ball is moving about 10 yards right. What's going on? Oh no. Now, the educated player knows I hit a perfect shot. The conditions and the wind moved that ball right, okay? The player who is just out there not really aware and swinging away is gonna start to try to correct that, okay? This is why there's famous stories of Ben Hogan showing up at ranges, having the wind be left to right, and he would just go straight to the putting green and straight back to his car, okay? Because he didn't want to develop bad habits. He didn't want to see that golf ball go that way and then try to correct it to hit the actual perfect shot, because guess what? When I get to that first tee and maybe the wind isn't left to right and I hit my shot that was perfect, now all of a sudden it's hard left, okay? So controlling that golf ball, really important, and very important to make sure everybody's always aware of their conditions. I don't want to talk bad about any ranges that have left to right winds, but you just have to be careful if you're a right-handed player with those, okay? You gotta be able to be disciplined to know that you hit a good shot. Fantastic, that ball starts creeping a little bit right, and it's all right, right? That's supposed to happen. So, lovely here. Here's what I see from your swing thus far, okay? Some fantastic ball striking, an incredible attention to detail and process, right? Every time you get this checkpoint here, you hit golf ball first. It's awesome, okay? Let's hit a couple more. Let's move through the bag and let's keep working. Man, that is so good. Oh, so good. Awesome. Let's get something longer, okay? Let's get some of those fairway woods out and see kind of what was going on. Tell me this, when you weren't hitting those well in the tournament, what were they doing? What were they looking like? Where were they going that you didn't? Some were going to the right. Okay, good. So let's pull one of those out. Good. I mean, that was pretty perfectly struck right there. It moves a little bit to the right, but again, we have the conditions of the Santa Anas and the left to right wind, so I think that was pretty good. How does that feel? Feels smooth. Here's the thing I think that could go wrong with those longer clubs in your tournament with what we're working on, okay? We're working on a very connected backswing right here, right? Making sure that our arms and our body stay together, and that's fantastic when we have some loft on our club, right? Or even, you know, the ball in the air because we have the driver in our hands. But when we get to the ball on the ground and we don't have a lot of loft, a 3-wood, a hybrid, right? We want to make sure that we just don't get too quick in the backswing, especially with you being so connected. Does that make sense? We've got to make sure we know that when I get this club out to hit it further, I actually have to take a smoother move to that spot that you develop, right? If we go quick to there and go through that golf ball, the good thing is most likely the miss will only be right, which won't hurt you, right? But we just got to make sure, like you did on that one, that was a perfect strike. As long as you're smooth off your backswing with those clubs, you should be good to go. Good, a little quick on that one. That one's a little more right than we would expect. Okay, so we're just gonna get one more in there and we're gonna make sure that we just take our time in that backswing, right? Could feel even with these longer clubs, a slight pause up there, right? Just going back nice and smooth and then starting, yeah, feel the speed in front of you there with the club, Bella. That's fantastic. Beautiful, watch this, step right in there for that. Nice and smooth going back. Perfect, nice little tight draw right there, dead straight, okay? So that's the big key for you, is your practice swings and your just awareness of, hey, I pull the hybrid out, I pull the 3-wood out, okay. I'm doing the same thing I'm doing, I'm going to my spot, right? But I just have to make sure I do that nice and smooth, and then I feel my practice swings get that club out in front, right? When you take your practice swings and you feel a little bit more of this, and we hear the swoosh kind of down by the golf ball, that ball with those clubs, probably going right, you know? When you, though, feel what you did in those practice swings, you're smooth back, and now, oh wow, that club really swung past me, you know those are gonna be pretty good shots there, okay? Let's hit a couple drives, and then let's hit a couple wedges, and we'll go down and work on some short game and some putting, okay? So great story about Bella, right? I think it was beginning of last year. What's your lowest 9 holes ever, Bella? 5 under. Oh my gosh. Do you remember anything about that 9 holes and what you were working on and what you were focusing on?
When I hit it bad, I just kept on thinking just to get out with bogey.
Yeah.
And I worked on my attitude that week, and I most likely played good with my good attitude.
Wow, okay. So we tried to, when we hit it bad, say a bogey would be okay. We tried to keep a good attitude the entire week, right? And then boom, not many bogeys if you're shooting 5 under. Okay, but that again is the big lesson for you and for so many junior golfers going into the week. We see you hit the ball. Hey Mark, how we doing? We see you hit the ball here fantastic, right? Haven't missed one shot yet, okay? The only way things could get off for you is if we're out in the tournament and we're worrying about that last 3-wood I hit that went right and I've got this 10-foot putt to hit. You know what I mean? And again, I think you have a great opportunity here. You're swinging the club well, better than I've seen you swing it in a long time, okay? And I think that you go out there this week and you really work on that attitude and try to have that same mentality, you know? Try to not worry about any of those other shots. You're gonna hit this ball the best you can. You're gonna go find it and you're gonna hit it again, you know? And you keep a positive attitude, you be your biggest cheerleader out there, and you're gonna play great, you know? Let's go see a couple drives here. I got some tees for you. Good, really nice. Love that sound, that swoosh out in front. Fantastic. Awesome. I mean, that ball's gonna hit and run forever too. Pretty darn good, pretty darn good. So, you know, this is, again, I mean, some of the best swinging you've been doing. Let's get a wedge out. We know we're hitting good. Let's try to take this concept we're doing of our backswing and let's apply it to some distance wedges today, okay? And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So you go grab a wedge, and I just want everybody at home to know this, that Bella is an extraordinary example of what we try to preach with all of our players, which is connection in the backswing, right? She is doing deliberate moves here. She has got a process that allows her to continually be successful and get in this position and not get in that position that we've seen her in the past. We might even throw some pictures up for you guys to see some before and afters, right? When the arms get long and the club gets long and Bella doesn't have that connection, okay? She can't fire through the golf ball without having to time up the release. But when she does this check here, boom, All right, good. I'm going right here. I felt it. I'm just going to go there, and then guess what? I'm going through. Fantastic, right? We're hitting good shots, okay? Now, backswing control. That's basically what you were doing. It's allowing us to hit it very well, right? All right, guys, thanks for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed. Click the link below for 3 free videos. Leave any comments or questions down below.